What's up, guys? It's Brian with mtmmix.com. This might be a late upload. I actually got into a car accident yesterday, so things are moving a little bit slower than they usually do as far as scheduling posts and things like that. But today I want to talk about something that I've talked about in the past, and that's going to be mixing your kick drum with your bass and a hip hop record. What's the best way to do it? So it's actually very common for me to get asked, what is the best way to mix your kick drum and your bass? I find these frequencies competing with each other. I can't create enough space in the mix for both of these instruments, especially when you have an artist that really wants that kick drum to knock and that bass to rumble. And I'm going to show you guys a trick today using Pro Q2 by FabFilter. It's probably one of my favorite EQs. I'm going to let you guys in on a secret on how to visualize both of those frequency spectrums on one single plugin. So that way you could really see which frequencies are being used by your bass or your 808 and which frequencies are being used by your kick. So you could notch out or boost any frequencies to create room in the mix for each one of those instruments. So let's go ahead and hop on the screen. I'm going to show you guys exactly what to do. Alright, so we're on the screen now. I got this session up. There are vocals included, but I'm going to be muting them for the example. We're going to be focusing on these two tracks right here. I made them green just so they stick out a little bit more. It's going to be the 808 and the kick drum. Both of the kick drum and the 808 are very similar sounding in this record. The kick drum doesn't have a lot of high end. And it's a really soft sounding kick drum, very round, and it kind of gets in the way of the 808, and it doesn't allow the 808 doesn't allow the kick drum to cut through. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by pulling up a Pro Q2 onto this 808 track. So FabFilter Pro Q2. And if you guys have never used this before, using this EQ will allow you to see the frequency spectrum. So I'm just going to play the beat for you, and you'll be able to see where this 808 is living on the frequency spectrum. So you can see that it's living around here, 50 hertz or so. Now, generally what you would do here is you would throw another Pro Q2 onto the kick drum, see where the kick drum frequencies are living, and kind of notch and boost things accordingly to make room for that kick drum. Now, it would be way easier if you were able to visualize both of the frequency spectrums of the 808 and the kick on this single plugin, and that's what we're actually going to do. If you could go down here to the analyzer section, you could turn sidechain on. So if you just click that, this orange tab will light up, and then it'll let you know that it's ready for the sidechain. The next thing in Pro Tools, this will be different depending on what DAW you're in, is you want to set your key input to any bus. I'm going to use 21 and 22 for the example. Now what you want to do is you want to send your kick drum to the bus that you set for that key. So I'm going to go ahead, bus 21, 22. And I'm going to option click that fader to bring it up to 0. So now when you hit play, you're going to see two frequency spectrums moving around. One will be the 808, one will be the kick drum. And you'll be able to see where the kick drum lives in relation to the 808 and how you got to notch out some frequencies in the 808. So let me play this for you so you guys can visualize that. So you can see right there, now we have two frequency spectrums. I could do some live edits here. I could notch out some frequencies in the 808 to create some more room for the kick, and that's what I'm going to do very quickly for the example. All right, so there you have that. Now I created a very quick EQ on the 808 to create some room for that kick drum. You can see that I got rid of some of the very, very low end. That's just going to muddy up the mix. I got rid of some of that initial punch where the kick drum was living, and then a couple octaves above that to create some of the high end punch for that kick drum. The next thing that I would probably do is throw a EQ onto the kick drum and probably boost these frequencies to make it more of an exaggerated effect, so that way it's really punching through the mix and it sounds very good. So that's really it, guys. If you have any questions about this technique, leave it in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer the questions once I get to them. And until next time, guys, I will talk to you soon.